live. We're going live. Hello, everyone. We'll give people another minute or two, a couple of seconds to join, and then we can start. Good. So, hello, everyone. My name is Moshe Nave, and I'm an SAP Community Advocate. Welcome to today's SAP Community call about SAP Integration Suite, Connect and Automate Your Business. We have Piyush Gakar, Global Head of Product Management and Strategy for SAP Integration Suite, and we have Udo Palzer, Lead Product Manager for SAP Integration Suite. Piyush, please take it away.
Moshe, thank you very much for the introduction. Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to this session. My name is Piyush Gakar, and today, along with my colleague Udo Palzer, I'll be talking about our integration strategy and discuss on various aspects of Integration Suite and its relevance for enterprises to drive business outcomes. As a standard disclaimer before the presentation, and then we can go towards the agenda item. So we'll be covering about big picture of SAP Integration Suite, including strategy. What are the key innovations that we have already delivered? What is in the roadmap? Key takeaways, and then we will be open up for question and answers in the end. Great. Let's start. So integration is the foundation for intelligent enterprise strategy, and it is helping organizations to transform and innovate by automating their business processes and providing the right required business insights as well. So our aim is to simplify and accelerate integrations across heterogeneous and hybrid landscapes of enterprises. We are working very closely with our customers, partners, user groups, and fully committed to provide a leading integration experience for our customers. With our industry knowledge and technology expertise, we are continuously investing to simplify business transformation journey for our customers. Integration remains a key priority for us, and our offering goes far beyond technology solution. It not only helps you connect to different business partners, third-party LOB applications, industry solutions, but it also offers you an end-to-end framework to plan, strategize, and optimize your business process integrations during the implementation journey. I urge you to go through the strategy paper written by our board members that highlights the relevance of SAP Integration Suite in overall SAP's integration strategy. And Integration Suite is not only prominent integration layer for SAP's integration strategy, but it is a prominent service for our business technology platform as well. Yeah, Udo, if we can go to the next slide, please. Yeah, let's talk about some of the key value propositions and what Integration Suite offers. So one of the key differentiators for SAP Business Technology Platform and SAP Integration Suite is the business expertise. SAP has best-in-class experience across LOBs and industries. And same expertise have been leveraged in our integration offering, where transformation logic, business interfaces are already provided in the form of APIs and prepackaged integrations. Customers can leverage these assets to integrate with SAP and third-party applications and can directly focus on their business scenarios. We have shipped approx 2,600 plus integration scenarios, 3,000 plus APIs. We have 200 plus connectors that can help you connect with a lot of third-party applications, and a lot of standard business events that help you getting real-time insights. We have given a lot of emphasis on reducing total cost of development and operations for our customers. So Integration Suite offers low-code, no-code development environment, and upgrades and updates are being managed by SAP. It reduces overall total cost of operations for customers, and integration implementation project that used to take years to complete. Now, integration implementation time has come down to weeks and days. Customers are looking to modernize their landscape by adopting next-gen technology that can help them to innovate, scale, and transform quickly. API and event-based integrations are part of the customer transformation journey, where they can control, govern, and secure the data access, and can make decisions in real time. So Integration Suite provides an API fabric to design, develop, and monitor and monetize API-based integrations. And our eventing technology in Integration Suite with Mesh framework helps customers interact with real-time business events in a distributed environment. Further, we have artificial intelligence-based integration proposal provided by Integration Advisor service that saves a lot of time for customers to choose the right definition of messages required to be exchanged with business partners and define maps automatically. For B2B integrations, when we are exchanging data with business partners across business boundaries, there are some regulations we need to follow. That includes security, acknowledgements, and contractual agreements. So we are also providing trading partner management, where you can onboard your trading partners in a seamless fashion very quickly, and then provide a monitoring framework to monitor all the business transactions and the data that you are exchanging with your business partners. Another interesting point is during pandemic, many enterprises have changed their business operating models. For example, distribution channel like online commerce has got accelerated. Stakeholder collaboration has become a key requirement because of the virtual work environments, and customer experience has become one of the top priorities for the enterprises to grow in this highly competitive market. Especially in the design era, time to market is the key, and overall transformation process should be very agile and efficient. If you look at customer landscape, these business processes spans across multiple application systems and personas. Customers want to have more and more automation along with a structured and governed approach to share the business data available to the relevant stakeholders. With RISE, customers are doing business transformations and want to leverage latest and greatest innovations from technology solutions that are available on the cloud. So we are providing an integration assessment tool that helps you plan and come up with the right strategy and recommendation for your scenarios. You can achieve end-to-end integrations with a recommendation service that talks about the domain that customers are using, be it private cloud, be it on-premise or cloud solutions, integration styles and patterns. For example, A2A integrations, B2B integrations, UI-led integrations, event-based integrations, and then provide a recommendation service based on the customer landscape. What is the right technology and tools fit according to the different integration needs that customers are having? We also provide a lot of out-of-the-box APIs, events, and prepackaged assets that can be leveraged to strengthen this end-to-end integration scenarios. While we are providing next-generation technology platform on cloud, we want to take along our existing process integration and process orchestration customers and provide a seamless upgrade path to our on-premise customers. We are fully committed to it. And recently, we have launched the migration tooling that help move the PO integration scenarios to Integration Suite. And in line with it, in 2022, we also released detailed migration framework and methodology with different customer journeys that are available on SAP site and help.sap documentation. We would like to continue this close collaboration with our customers and make sure that they get to Integration Suite from process integration in the best possible and seamless manner. Udo, if we can please go to the next slide. Thank you. So we are leader in the integration market, and we would like to take this opportunity to thank our customers, partners, and developer ecosystem for having trust in our solution and helping us with the successful outcomes. We'll continue collaborating with you. We'll make sure that we both are successful. We help you with the right implementation, successful integration journeys, and we will do it together. Thank you very much. And with this, I would like to hand it over to my colleague, Udo Balzer.
Great. Thank you very much, Piyush. Yes, thank you very much, Piyush, for the great introduction. And yeah, perfect. And right, I also would like to continue on the same path here, as you rightly mentioned, Piyush. So we are second year in a row leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for Enterprise Integration Platform as a Service. As one example to point out that we have a leading integration platform as a service. We address all integration styles and patterns like data integration, process integration, API-led integration, event-driven integration. So all integration use cases we address with one single platform, SAP Integration Suite. This is also one of the key benefits that also Gartner acknowledges in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. In the detailed description, you can read it. So we are one of the few ones which address all integration use cases, styles, and patterns. Just to name one, another key benefit that Gartner outlines in their in the written statement of Enterprise Integration Platform as a Service, MQ, is also that we are on multiple hyperscale environments, be it Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Ali Cloud, etc. And also to name the third key benefit is this prepackaged content. So as Piyush also outlined in the beginning, it's not only an empty platform where you need to wire each and every integration scenario. Not at all. We provide prepackaged content, 2,500 plus integration scenarios delivered out of the box for SAP and non-SAP integration scenarios. And there's no integration scenario basically that we cannot address with SAP Integration Suite. So all integration use cases can be in principle addressed with SAP Integration Suite. And this is also reflected here in this Customer Choice Award that we won also from Gartner. So we have the most customers who provided positive, extremely positive feedback on SAP Integration Suite. I'd like to just name here one number, 93% of our customers also would recommend SAP Integration Suite to other customers. And besides Gartner, there are also other analysts like Forrester, for example. They have published this total economic impact analysis, like a research study on integration, where they also interviewed multiple customers. And also bottom line is here, which you can find in this research study here, that all these customers here acknowledged again also all the TCO reduction, ROI savings that they can make with SAP Integration Suite. There are cool numbers, great quotes in this paper, in this research study. So also please have a look at this Forrester research study. Yeah, and then on the same path, I would like to again outline here one of the key benefits as mentioned by Piyush, and I would like to reiterate this again. Prepackaged content is one of the key strengths, besides addressing all integration use cases and patterns of SAP Integration Suite. So we have this one-stop shop place, this SAP API Business Hub, which is like an overarching capability of SAP Integration Suite, a public web page where you can all take a look and you can find all this prepackaged content, be it the business process descriptions for our different core 4 mega processes, lead to cache, hire to retire, design to operate, for example. From there, you can also drill down to the underlying artifacts, be it the APIs, be it events, be it prepackaged integration flows with the mappings from the sender to receiver applications, the underlying adapters for adapter types, for example. So all this prepackaged content, APIs, events, and content is being listed here on this API Business Hub. And in average, this is just a rough calculation. Of course, it always depends on the exact scenario. The more complex a scenario is, the more time and money you save. But in average, using our prepackaged content, customers are around 5 times faster and save around 10 times of money and efforts to integrate applications with each other using this prepackaged content. This is prepackaged productized content, which is also updated by our line of business organization. So based on different API changes, for example, or legal changes, whatever these changes might be, we update also our content. So this is productized content used, provided by our LOBs, and also by partners. So the content that you see here in these 2,500 plus integration flows, most of them, or many of them, are published by SAP, more than 2,000, but also 400 integration scenarios are also published by our partners, also with a focus on non-SAP integration. Yeah, and just to give you here some concrete examples, so we publish Piyush also mentioned it also for the integration with government organizations around the globe. So each and every country has different regulations, what data need to be provided to the tax authorities, for example, in which data format, via which communication protocol, via which certificates the messages need to be signed or encrypted, for example. So each and every country has different regulations, which tax data need to be provided. So for multiple countries, we provide prepackaged integration content for these tax regulation scenarios, which is one key benefit of name a few. And then another one would be these integration scenarios with non-SAP applications, be it Salesforce, be it ServiceNow, be it Workday here. So for multiple scenarios, account application, sales order replication, sales history replication from S/4HANA to Salesforce, or from Salesforce to back to SAP S/4HANA, from ServiceNow to SAP S/4HANA, and vice versa. Similar for Workday. For all these integration scenarios, we provide prepackaged content for S/4HANA Cloud, for S/4HANA on-premise, as well as even ECC, integrating again Salesforce, ServiceNow, and Workday. You can find them all on the SAP API Business Hub, just to name here 9 integration packages. Again, overall, we have 2,500 plus integration flows published on the API Business Hub. And also, SAP Integration Suite is used at large scale with our customers. So we have thousands of customers productive on SAP Integration Suite. They use it at large scale. Millions of messages here on a single day. We have customers who process multiple 20 millions plus in the meantime on a single day by a single customer. Cloud integration scenarios, API-driven scenarios, in a similar order of magnitude, 30 millions of messages processed here by a single customer on a single day for API-driven integrations. Then, besides SAP Integration Suite as an integration platform as a service, we also provide integration cloud industry-specific cloud solutions like the Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway. We might have heard about it. The new name actually is SAP Integration Suite Managed Service. So it's basically an end-to-end solution where buyers and sellers can come together and buy and sell goods from each other for very dedicated use cases based on EDI, ANSI X12, integrating ECC, S4, for example, with buyer and seller applications. This is one example for an end-to-end solution. And here we have, so here overall, now all these Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway scenarios, 1 billion of messages are being exchanged on a monthly basis. And if you calculate this or do the math, then you also end up here with around 35 million of messages on a single day here for this SAP Integration Suite Managed Gateway. So a lot of B2B scenarios here processed, millions of B2B scenarios processed here on this Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway as one example. Yeah, and then as mentioned, meanwhile, the numbers even here, 2,600 integration flows that we publish on the API Business Hub, and here around 400 published here by our partners. And in order to get started and get acquainted and do the level 3 enablement. So we have here level 1, level 2, level 3 enablement sessions provided here via Open SAP courses, via Black Belt webinars, which are ready to consume, boot camps, individual customer workshops, etc., certification programs here from L1, L2, L3. Kindly hop on the train and also get acquainted with tons of enablement material that we have linked also at the end of this presentation, so you can get familiar with all this training material. And 200,000+ customers watched now and participated in our enablement material. Again, Open SAP course, Black Belt webinars, etc. Yeah, and just to make it really concrete here, so we have 80 plus customer success stories published here on the public web pages. Some of them we have listed here in ECO, just to name here one customer already multiple years ago replaced SAP Process Orchestration with SAP Integration Suite, so completely got rid of SAP Process Orchestration and use SAP Integration Suite for all the integration scenarios. So even multiple years ago, customers already started the journey from on-premise to a cloud integration platform. And here Eneco acknowledged that they save around 50 to 60% of, or gain a TCO reduction of 50 to 60%. Of course, these numbers are individual. It always depends on the customer scenarios, number of scenarios, complexity of scenarios, etc. But here, as one example, Eneco has a great TCO reduction. Similar numbers also achieved here by Toyota, who also have a cost reduction of by using SAP Integration Suite as the integration middleware at Toyota. And thirdly, I would like to highlight here Harrods, for example, who also are already started to replace process orchestration scenarios with SAP Integration Suite, use SAP Integration Suite as a strategic integration platform as a service at Harrods, and they can also reuse a multitude of artifacts from process orchestration, which I would also like to highlight here. From the beginning, we of course wanted to make our process orchestration customers an easy migration from process orchestration to SAP Integration Suite. So we have reused the PI mapping engine in SAP Process Orchestration. So message mappings, operation mappings, value mappings, schema definitions, XIT mappings can be reused from process orchestration in SAP Integration Suite. So a migration is already available. You can connect a PO system to SAP Integration Suite and reuse a majority of artifacts of SAP Process Orchestration. And as Piyush mentioned, as we have now even made available the migration tool, I will come to this on the recent innovation and roadmap. So this is also work in progress, that we even have a tool-based approach to simplify the migration from SAP Process Orchestration to Integration Suite. Yeah, and last but not least, LCORP here, I would like to highlight here. LCORP, again, officially published success stories. By now, LCORP has here 20 million of messages on a daily basis. When we published the success story, now they were here at around 5 million messages on a daily basis. So customers, now many customers process here millions of messages on SAP Integration Suite. And let me also name here, call out MST. For example, MST, also a former PI customer, now fully replaced their process integration scenarios with SAP Integration Suite. 40 interfaces they had, no? So yeah, which they fully replaced with SAP Integration Suite. 0 defects, regressions when they moved from process integration to SAP Integration Suite. So kindly view these success stories. With all these success stories, the links are provided. You can find all the links here in the specific success stories. Now for each and every of these customers, you can find the detailed success story. Yeah, and we also provide guidance when to use which of these integration services. Piyush highlighted the integration strategy paper published by our board members, Christian Klein, Thomas Auessig, and Jürgen Müller. Please get familiar and see how clearly SAP Integration Suite is positioned as our strategic integration platform as a service. Then further details you can find here in our CRO guides. The CRO guide, here the high-level management summary is linked, where you can find the link here in this middle. And here in the middle of this slide here, and on the right-hand side, you can then find the detailed CRO guide, almost 100 pages long, where you can find then also clear guidance when to use which of our integration services. Cloud integration here, trading partner management, integration advisor, open connectors, API management, data integration, all the different integration services are explained to some extent here in the CRO guide. At least the positioning is made clear when to use which of these integration services. which is all based on our SAP Integration Solution Advisory methodology. And this methodology, which is explained in detail in the CRO guide, is also now made available since a few months now as part of a separate service that also Piyush highlighted on the first slide on SAP Integration Suite. Yeah, and the solution advisory methodology is a great methodology adopted by so many customers now and helps customers and grow in their integration maturity, go away from ad hoc integrations from today to tomorrow, but provide, establish at the end, the final goal, of course, is have an integration practice, best practice in your government organization, and recognize integration as a key enabler and for your digital transformation, for example. So enable a best practice, an integration best practice in your company, which helps drive set integration patterns, use cases, architecture blueprints, which can be used in your organization to minimize discussions, how to integrate yet another integration scenario, enable integration as a best practice, and how to get there is explained in the CRO guide and driven by this integration solution advisory methodology. Yeah, so let me come now to the recent innovations, latest and greatest. Here on one slide, on an overview slide, what are the recent innovations? API-led integration to start off with here is one important integration use case and pattern for SAP. So we have provided here the API Business Hub Enterprise, actually already quite some time ago. Just to highlight it here again, you can manage both SAP and non-SAP APIs in this API Business Hub Enterprise and expose these APIs to your own clients. It's basically the SAP API Business Hub for your own clients, for your own customers of your organization. We have also provided a dashboard for API analytics. What are my most used APIs in my organization? This kind of information you get via this dashboard, which is available actually for both API management as well as cloud integration for SAP in SAP Analytics. And we provide more and more content and adapters on the API Business Hub. Also, community content is relatively new, which have been provided end of Q1 actually already for our community, where you can find a fast track of additional content, which is used by our customers. Of course, it's neutralized, anonymized content, which, for example, our integration consulting unit has built content used, proven in multiple accounts, customers, and now again anonymized and put on the SAP API Business Hub as a fast track. Other customers or partners, of course, are also invited to contribute. This community content is also published on GitHub and already has been enhanced by multiple customers, which gives us a great indication which content is used by our customers, and we can take this back to our LOBs and also productize this content. So please also kindly take a look at the community section of the SAP API Business Hub, again also available on GitHub. Similarly, also B2B already available now for quite some time. We just would like to highlight here again, trading partner management, also mentioned by Piyush, which helps our customers to manage their hundreds of trading partners. You can manage these trading partners as a new entity within SAP Integration Suite, and based on your trading partner agreements, you can also trading partner profiles. You can also define agreements based on the message implementation guidelines, the mapping guidelines. You can reuse multiple of these guidelines in your end-to-end agreements, which help you to run end-to-end B2B scenarios. And can also monitor your B2B transaction in a dedicated B2B monitor, again also available with SAP Integration Suite. Event-driven integrations, also a very important use case. We have now enabled provided advanced event mesh for addressing 3 event-driven integrations, high performance, high throughput event-driven integration scenarios, federated deployment of event mesh in multiple hyperscale environments that we support via SAP Integration Suite. So you can build up a mesh of an event mesh around the globe for your event-driven scenario. So an event happens in one data center, and it will be immediately made available in all the event mesh, and all the event mesh that you have provisioned as part of advanced event mesh. You can set up an advanced event mesh around the globe for federated scenarios. And third use case is that we also provide an event portal where you can also manage, create, publish, subscribe to your own custom events. This is event-driven integrations. Fourth use case, or fourth highlight, is this integration assessment tool that also Piyush highlighted. So since in the beginning of this year, already in beginning of Q2, we enabled integration assessment as an additional capability on SAP Integration Suite, which provides a tool-based approach, give you guidance when to use which of our integration scenarios, and when, for example, you have identified a certain integration scenario and where prepackaged content, for example, is available. The tool also provides you which integration packages might fit for your integration use case. So a great tool-based approach to apply the integration solution advisory methodology in your landscape. And last but not least, as mentioned already, content adapters, and we have delivered here additional adapters, Dropbox, data store adapters, MDI adapters is one of the latest adapters which we have provided, and then also additional productized content as well as community content, which you can find on the SAP EiPaas Business Hub. And we, of course, we continue to invest in here also with focus on non-SAP integration scenarios. Yeah, and now here a lengthy list of additional features and functions, with each of these underlined features here. You can also find links to blogs, to user documentation, to the API Business Hub, for example. And in the context of migrating from process orchestration to integration suite, and one of the questions is, what is the replacement of the enterprise service repository? And of course, the clear response is the design time environment of SAP Integration Suite. So the design time environment of SAP Integration Suite, we have made now available reusable artifacts, message mappings, Groovy scripts, for example, data type and message type editor you will find on our roadmap, for example. So SAP Integration Suite Designer is basically the reusable repository of integration artifacts, and is basically the replacement of the enterprise service repository. And you can reuse these artifacts across multiple integration packages already. One of the latest highlights is the import of value mappings, message mappings, operation mappings is already done for a long time. Actually, the community content is relatively new already. Since earlier this year, API management, I highlighted the API Business Hub Enterprise, the local API Business Hub for your own clients. The rate limit policy has been deprecated since August this year, so kindly use now other API policies which go in the same direction, which can replace this. Actually, fairly well, spike arrest, for example, or quota. This is also nicely described. The different functions of these two other API policies. You can find a link which describe clearly spike arrest and quota in the user documentation. The timeout period, lesser than 55 seconds, is also nicely described in the user documentation. How we can configure these timeouts now more flexible. Which is also based on customer demand. B2B capabilities, trading partner management is available for quite some time now. End of the last year, actually already import of message implementation guidelines and mapping guidelines, one of the latest features, and also the copying of trading partner agreements is supported now. And as mentioned, advanced event mesh addressing these 3 use cases, and you can find further information on event mesh here in the user documentation and the blogs, for example. Then additional operational enhancements, for example, are highlighted here. OData APIs, for the creation and deletion of message mappings, for example, is highlighted here. Audit logs available on Cloud Foundry, the delayed software updates, which gives you also time on your integration suite tenants. You can delay the software update on your productive tenants, for example, by 1 week, and test all our updates on the regular increments on a monthly basis here on your test and dev tenants, for example. You have the option now to delay the software updates, one of the latest increments, additional adapters, as mentioned earlier. B2B, we keep on adding additional capabilities. You can also fail monitoring messages when the MDN is negative, for example, even though the request message was successful, but you still want to fail this message in case the MDN message delivery notification is failed, then we can fail the entire message, for example. There's also one of the latest features which we received your feedback, and also you can use now also other development environments to develop your own adapters for SAP Integration Suite based on Maven archetypes. So independent of Eclipse and other development environments, you can basically use based on Maven archetypes to develop your own adapters for the cloud integration capability of SAP Integration Suite. Then we have migration accelerators available now to move from the Neo environment to Integration Suite, for example, for cloud integration, as well as API management. And also, as highlighted by Piyush, we have a migration guide already available also for quite some time now. And just a few days ago, we kicked off the integration assessment tooling for SAP Integration Suite to move from SAP Process Orchestration to SAP Integration Suite. I come to this in a few moments. Kindly also upgrade to the latest version of several adapters like Salesforce adapters. This is highlighted here in the release notes of SAP Integration Suite. And additional a blog is here available, which has tons of links for any questions around API management, level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3. You can find here in this extensive blogs on API management. And last but not least, this integration assessment capability is actually already available since beginning of Q2 this year. Just to highlight this again, this is one of the new capabilities on SAP Integration Suite. To learn more about our latest and greatest enhancements, we have a monthly newsletter which is regularly sent out in the beginning of a month, and at the end of a month we have a regular update webinar where we go into more details on the latest and greatest of SAP Integration Suite for all the capabilities, be it cloud integration, API management, assessment, service, migration tool, integration advisor, training partner management. Kindly join our regular webinars. You can register for both the newsletter and the webinar in the links here on this slide. Yeah, and as mentioned by Piyush, we just kicked off the integration assessment. Capability is now available in a closed beta and in a beta program in September. We just kicked it off now in September. In October, the migration tool will go into beta, and then end of this year, the migration tool will be made. The assessment and migration tool will be made available as part of in general availability for any SAP Integration Suite Standard and Premium Edition customer. You can find tons of information how you can prepare yourself, assessment of your process orchestration scenarios, plan the actual migration, and move from SAP Process Orchestration to SAP Integration Suite. There's tons of information available. And as one last goodie, the migration or the assessment tool is now also available in beta. which brings me already to the roadmap. You can influence the roadmap of SAP Integration Suite via multiple influence channels, be it the customer influence program, which is basically a low-touch engagement, a public web page. We can search for features. Maybe your feature request is already posted by one of our thousands of customers who already engaged on this SAP Influence Council. So you can either vote on existing feature requests, or you can also submit your own feature request in case it's not available yet. And for currently our threshold value is 20 votes. With thousands of customers on the SAP Integration Suite, actually this is quite a low bar. And also another good news is around 90% of the feature requests which reach this threshold value of just 20 votes per feature request make it to the roadmap, either short-term, mid-term, and long-term. To be honest, some, of course, we cannot implement each and every feature request with 20 votes on a short-term note on a short-term roadmap, but at least short-term, mid-term, and long-term. Currently, the eligible feature requests can make it to the roadmap. So it's really worthwhile to go through these feature requests and put your vote on feature requests, which you also think these make sense to be addressed by SAP. High-touch engagement, so when we are already a bit more concrete, what we want to implement, where we already have mocks available, preview versions, early demo mock-ups. This we share in a high-touch engagement in the customer engagement initiative for SAP Integration Suite, which we had now for the last couple of months, almost a year actually already on, including the hybrid deployment option, edge integration cell, which we shared here in multiple calls, for example, is shared here in this customer engagement initiative, which still continues. We still have a few calls coming up. And last but not least, a high-touch engagement is the voice of customer session, as we call it. If you would like to talk to us in a one-to-one interaction with including development, we can openly share the scenarios, why you need so badly a certain feature request, then we would highly recommend to join the voice of customer session. This is a one-to-one interaction, only you and your team with SAP development. Then we can much better understand your use cases once you openly share your portfolio or your challenges or your integration scenarios that you want to implement and use SAP Integration Suite in a 1 hour session. And of course, not only 1 hour, we will continue to collaborate together with you. Of course, we need to do this on a monthly basis. Here, once a month, we can offer this to our customers. So if you would like to join here, also share the good, the bad, and the ugly with us, kindly reach out to us. Our email or my email address is given at the end of the slides so that we channel the feedback. So please reach out to us then afterwards. And of course, we have multiple additional channels with our Center of Excellence, Max Attention, Preferred Customer Care. There are so many other dedicated programs at SAP which helps you in leveraging SAP Integration Suite in your cloud integration journey. And with your guidance, help, input, feedback and improvement suggestions, the current roadmap is as this. This is also kind of prioritized. So where we get definitely a lot of feedback and requests. Hey, for the journey from SAP Process Orchestration to SAP Integration Suite, one big ticket item missing is this on-premise deployment option, which we call Edge Integration Cell, which is currently planned to go into beta end of this year, addressing 3 use cases: on-premise process orchestration with the worker node, with the classical worker node, so integration scenarios, API-driven scenarios, and an event bridge to connect events to SAP and non-SAP event brokers. These are the target scenarios for this Edge Integration Cell in the beta program. So of course, we will extend the scope, also moving forward, but this is currently targeted for end of this year, kind of our Christmas gift, beta program for this edge integration cell. Probably we will go out with post integration and API-driven scenarios. Event then will be added later on. And a second Christmas gift, as Piyush already mentioned, we will continue to ease the migration from POS orchestration to SAP Integration Suite. So we will have here the assessment tool was already kicked off. The kickoff call for our beta customers started already. Migration tooling will follow in October, which is also just a few weeks away or week away. The migration tooling end of October, and general availability is currently already planned in December. In December, the migration assessment and migration tool is currently planned to be even made in general availability. So really another Christmas gift here by the end of this year. To help our customers, in the first iteration, we will target the EiPaas, the integrated configuration objects. We are targeted first for migration from SAP POS Orchestration Integration Suite. We will even take care of the different methodologies, and we know like exactly once is built-in capability on POS orchestration. You have to model it explicitly on SAP Integration Suite. So this different methodology is also taken care by the migration tool. We will convert an icon from POS orchestration into a corresponding artifact, including the same SQ handling, for example, via this migration tool on SAP Integration Suite. So it will take care also of the different methodologies. Assessment and migration tool, regression test tool is currently planned via partners. So here we will go out first with a referral program. We will refer to some partners that we engage with for regression test tooling. Then API-led integration, also a very important use case. So we will get also the same look and feel of the SAP API Business, this public SAP API Business Hub, into the API Business Hub Enterprise. This way you can also put in your own brand and themes, your own look and feel as you would like to customize this API Business Hub. This is currently targeted for this API-led integration capabilities. And also a third beta program is currently targeted for mid of November, the same time frame as TechEd. So please take also a look at the TechEd 2022. The agenda is currently being published, is published already since a few days. And a beta program for Graph is currently planned for mid of November. Graph, just to get everybody on the same page, where we want to harmonize the access to our own SAP application like SuccessFactors and S/4HANA via one harmonized UI. You can access the same objects via harmonized APIs independent of the implementation. Is it now SuccessFactors or S/4, for example? So a harmonized access to our own SAP applications is planned here via Graph, and it's already available actually via early adopter program, better than in mid of November, and general availability then next year based on the feedback that we receive. Additional capabilities for API management, enhanced API analytics, be it usage patterns, maybe you want to detect here using also machine learning, artificial intelligence, of course, planned then for next year, to provide here better analysis of API analytics. This is planned here based off our API-led investments, API-led integrations, and additional content, adapters, which you do not find yet. So really new adapters, Azure adapter, RabbitMQ adapter, Splunk adapter, for example, we target is already published on the API Business Hub. Additional B2B libraries like VDA, and TraderComs, for example, are also planned here for next year. And then enhanced developer productivity and monitoring, just to name two enhancements here. One, which is also planned for Q4 this year, actually for October timeframe, enhanced coherent tool experience. Now currently we have different capabilities: API management, cloud integration, trading partner management. You always need to explicitly navigate to these different capabilities in the tooling. We want to bring this in a flat hierarchy. They don't have to jump to one capability to another one. Now you will be made, is planned to be available in October, where you can nicely, easier navigate between the different capabilities of SAP Integration Suite. And also Outlook, for example, we plan that you can provide an API policy in the iFlow Designer, also in one tool that you can easier attach an API policy to an iFlow Designer in one integration flow design time environment. And last but not least, tenant health monitoring, where we want to monitor also critical resources like iFlow consumption, which are my iFlows who use the most memory consumption, out of memory events, JMS queue, number of JMS queues, number of database connections, and the fill level of my database. All these critical resources are also currently planned to be made available via integration resource consumption, and this is currently planned as of Q1 2023. Yeah, and with this, I would like to come to almost to an end. Edge integration services on this hybrid deployment option. Hybrid means monitoring, design, configuration, deployment is triggered out of the cloud. So via SAP integration tooling environment, the same that you know as of today. And then the deployment will get the option to deploy your integration flows or API policies and eventually also events into a so-called edge integration cell, an on-premise deployment option. On-premise means in a Kubernetes cluster, we will go out with Microsoft Azure and Amazon Web Services, AKS and EKS, respectively, as part of this beta program end of this year. And next year, we also plan to support SUSE Linux as well as IBM Red Hat along the roadmap. This is then this edge integration cell targeting on-premise to on-premise integration scenarios. And with this, I hope Piyush and myself could make it interesting for you. SAP Integration Suite is used at large scale. Our customers, 2,600 prepackaged integration content is available to jumpstart your integration projects. Customers use SAP Integration Suite in all kinds of scenarios, API-led scenarios, B2B, application-to-application integration, process integration, data integration, event-driven integration scenarios. And SAP Integration Suite is a leading integration platform as a service, recognized also by leading analysts, be it Gartner, be it Forrester Hood Knowledge, for example, based on customer feedback, how much time and money customers can save using SAP Integration Suite. Yeah, and with this, I would like to thank you again in behalf of Piyush and myself. Kindly take a look at the community pages, also for SAP Integration Suite. You can find many more informations. Yeah, and with this, I would like to happily open up the forum and listen to your questions. And of course, also answer your questions. Okay, so now I would like to stop the presentation and open up the forum for any questions that you might have and always wanted to know on SAP Integration Suite. So I can also stop sharing to make,
So we did have a question. Raghu, do you want to take it?
If you can read it out, at least that Piyush and myself can see or hear the question. That would be great.
Yes, I will read the question actually. So the question is, if I'm on Integration Suite on CF now, do I have to perform another migration like from Neo to CF if I want to adapt to new Neuron hybrid deployment option?
Yes, that's a great question. Thank you, Raghu. So let me share my slide again. And
so on similar lines, there is one more question actually. So maybe I can ask that also. Like if Neuron needs Kubernetes, can I run it with Kaima cluster within the multi-cloud environment sub-account? Or is there going to be a new type of sub-account for a unified runtime?
Yes.
one more question.
Great question. Thank you so much for addressing these questions. So let me take the first question, and Piyush, kindly feel free to add, of course. So, right. So the first question, if I understand it correctly, is in the context of migration from the previous tenants and licensing options available on the Neo platform. Now we have SAP Integration Suite, where we provide many more capabilities because we are run here on a hyperscale environment. Bring also our tooling in one license option closer together, also from a development perspective, integration assessment, trading partner management, integration advisor, B2B libraries, unlimited number of GEM SQs, SAP to SAP integration for free from a message count perspective. So a lot of capabilities we bring together on the hyperscale environments. We have many more options. And right, so customers on the Neo landscape, of course, we continue to support these customers. There is migration tool available. We provide here also migration guides, best practices, also support with best practices from SAP. Good news is a lot of artifacts can be reused, like integration flows can be reused, certificates can be reused. The tooling also will migrate your integration package, all your integration flows from a Neo tenant, for example, into an SAP Integration Suite tenant on Cloud Foundry. So migration is supported. A lot of reuse is available to ease the migration from Neo to the Integration Suite platform. So kindly take a look here into this migration tooling. Reach out to us if you have any questions. We definitely would recommend, whenever time permits, licensing permits, maybe your Neo contract is about to expire. Now, this is also a good time to move to SAP Integration Suite, or if you see any of the cool new capabilities you like to use, like B2B, trading partner management. These are always great points to consider the migration from Neo to Integration Suite. And again, we support you with migration tooling and best practices and guidelines.
Yeah, maybe I can add
yes, please,
to that, right? Yes. Yeah, so for this new hybrid deployment option, if you're already using Integration Suite on Cloud Foundry, there is no migration required. Yeah, yes. You can continue using your same tenants and with this hybrid deployment.
Exactly, this was also in the second question. Thank you so much, Piyush and Right. And for this hybrid deployment option, this is already built-in functionality, so to speak, comes with an SAP Integration Suite license option. And the only requirement for this on-premise deployment option would be then a Kubernetes cluster, as mentioned, on EKS, Microsoft Azure, and Amazon Web Services, and also in the very near future, 2023, IBM, Red Hat, and SUSE Linux. Good. I hope this addressed the question. Any additional questions, Raghu, that you see on?
Will there going to be a file adapter for Neuron ground-to-ground integration?
Yes. So all these typical, so to complete the migration opportunities from our PO customers, typical on-premise communication protocols, where we currently have a hard time to route these communication protocols through the hyperscale environments, be it file, be it JMS, be it OFTP2, X400, there are a lot of communication protocols which are currently where we have a hard time to provide them on the hyperscale environments. These we target, of course, on a needs basis for our on-premise customers on edge integration cell. Yes, file adapter, JMS adapter, OFTP2 adapter. These are adapters which are on the roadmap. Currently, 2023 as a rough guidelines. They are not there's no concrete availability yet available. Kindly stay tuned on the roadmap, but these are definitely adapters which we plan to provide as soon as possible on edge integration cell to target also these on-premise integration scenarios, to also help our cross-orchestration customers to move those customers to those integration scenarios to edge integration cell. Yes. So these are also planned, and please stay tuned on the roadmap. Yes. Yeah. Any other questions?
Clarification actually, just to clarify, Kubernetes is only for Neuron Edge, and right now I will need to use AWS or Azure Kubernetes to host Neuron Edge. He's asking.
Yes, as soon as it's available in beta end of this year, and sometimes mid of next year, we plan general availability actually only for the on-premise deployment or for this hybrid deployment option. Only for this Kubernetes environment is required. This tag again, it's an optional, it's an optional installation opportunity. You don't have to use it. It's only an option, optionally to be used if you still have on-premise to on-premise integration scenarios. And only then.
And once no, I was just saying once we will be closer to the GA, we will be sharing more details on exact Kubernetes versions and where it can be installed.
Yes.
Right now it's in beta, and we have we are working in a very close scope with the beta customers.
Excellent. Thank you, Piyush, for the additions. I hope this clarified your questions. Otherwise, kindly let us know. At the end, of course, an email address is given. Please reach out to us then also via email once we publish the slides.
As we're at the top of the hour, I would like to thank you all for this great SAP community call. The presentation, I saw a question, will be available on the YouTube channel on the page of the call, together with the recording. So thank you everyone for joining today. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.